Let's compare a $250,000 business, a $1 million business, and a $5 million business. So a typical business that might sell for $250,000 will have, say, $750,000 of annual revenue. It's only gonna have a few employees, and the owner's probably working 60 to 80 plus hours a week. Now, you're not gonna have a lot in the way of policies and procedures, and the owner is gonna be doing a lot of things themselves. But you will have some people out there in the field doing some of the direct customer service or direct work for the business. Now, if you structure your deal right, you can buy a business like this for as little as $19,000 down. And if you do that, your take home is gonna be around $72,000 per year after making your debt payments, which at, say, the 60-hour per week is gonna be about $23 an hour. It's gonna be less if you're working closer to that 80. Now, our $1 million business. So your revenue, if you're $1 million business, probably about $1.8 million per year. And the advertised cash flow is probably around $350,000. At this level, the business is probably starting to take shape. Typically have 8 to 12 employees. You might even have someone to help with the administrative stuff like bookkeeping and payroll. Now, the work, it's still gonna be very owner intensive. The owner is likely the chief sales officer. They're out there getting the revenue and they're managing the client relationships. And at this point, typically you might be working 50 to 60 hours a week. So the take home after making your debt payments is probably around $170,000. And at 50 hours a week, that's about $65 per hour. Now, our $5 million business. So our $5 million business probably has around $5 million of revenue and is advertising about $1 million of cash flow. Now, this business, it can be bought for as little as $250,000 down. And for this example, we're gonna say we have one with a full management team. We've got a general manager in place. They're gonna have 20, 30 employees and a full administrative staff. And a lot of the times when you go to buy these, the owner really doesn't have a lot of involvement in the day-to-day activity of the business. Now, as businesses get bigger, they sell at higher valuations, so higher multiples of the earnings. So that means the debt payment's gonna take a bigger chunk out of that $1 million cash flow than it does on the smaller businesses. So your after debt cash flow is probably gonna be around $250,000 per year. But with the full management team, the new owner might only work 20 hours a week. So that's gonna generate around $240 per hour. Now, just for fun, let's look at the same business without the management. Now, this is gonna drop our sale price from 5 million to around 4.2 million, which increases our after loan cash flow to $340,000. But new owner, you're probably gonna be working that 40, 50 hours a week running the business. And at 50 hours a week, that's about $130 per hour. So what would you choose? That scrappy $250,000 business with tons of growth potential, or do you go for that $5 million self-managed business?